Hello viewers, today we are going to discuss rural social institutions and its role in the development of agriculture in India. In this lecture, first we discuss what is rural social institutions, and then we discuss the impact of these social institutions on development of agriculture in India. The term institution we used here because in sociology and in social sciences particularly, institutions we used in place of association, and sometimes we use these two words synonymous to each other, but these two words are totally different with each other. Association and institution. Sometimes we use association and sometimes we use institution. Now first we discuss what is the exact meaning of institution and then what is the exact meaning of an association. In social sciences, association is collection of human beings where some people organized to fulfill certain objectives and certain goals. This is voluntary. If one wants to be a member, he be a, otherwise not. But institution is not a group of people. Institution is a cluster of norms. Hence, first we discuss the meaning of social institution, and important institutions are there. First is government, then religion, then economy, then education, then family, and then marriage. These are the 6 important institutions generally we are discussing here, and role of all these institutions in the development of agriculture, because in India agriculture is predominant occupation, and particularly in rural community majority of the persons are directly or indirectly engaged in this type of occupation known as agriculture or cultivation. Hence, we want to discuss these social institutions and its role in the field of agriculture, or we want to discuss the development of agriculture, particularly with the help of these institutions, either government or religion or education or economy or family and marriage. Here we first discuss what is the exact meaning of social institution. As we know, institution is a cluster of norms. Hence, we can't be a member of an institution, as rightly pointed out by McIver and Page in his book Society, where he discussed that sometimes we said like this, we are the member of that institution, is not the correct preposition. We said this, we are observed, we are followed the rules and regulations of an institution, hence we can't be a member of that institution, because institution is a cluster of norms. Hence, we follow it, we observe it. As rightly said, a social institution is an important human organization in a culture group that helps a society to survive. Similarly, anthropologists, sociologists, and rural scientists have identified government, religion, education, economy, and family, and also marriage as the 6 basic social institutions that are necessary for a society to survive, because we know that if we want to study rural or urban society, we have to study all these 6 institutions, because the development of rural society as well as development of urban societies, these institutions is most important part of development. Hence, we discuss one by one all these institutions. First, we discuss government G is for government. Government is the political organization of a society. The purpose of government is to keep order and make group decision. In India, the government keeps order by providing law enforcement at various levels. It defends us from enemies through the armed services. It provides social services like social security and medicine. It protects the right of the population. Here we want to say that government is one of the important institution of rural society, because government is the main planner, main implementer. They enforce certain developmental programs. Like in India, the first developmental program was initiated by government to develop rural community, known as Community Development Program from 2nd October 1954, to develop rural community, because the maximum population of India is living in rural society. Hence, first we want to develop rural community, then and then only we can develop whole country India. The second part of the institution is R. R means religion. Religion represents the moral belief system of a society. It can include ideas about magic, superstition, and an explanation about how the universe come about. Religion is necessary to determine group values, to have a common belief system. Although Indian society has many religions, sects, they serve similar functions. Religion teaches a moral code that is generally reflective of the society. When we talk about religion, we must remember a definition given by Edward B. Tylor in a book, Primitive Culture. He rightly pointed out, religion is belief in supernatural world. And similarly, French scholar Emile Durkheim, in his book, he said that religion is a consciousness, collective awareness of the society, and we believe collectively is known as religion. Religion word is derived from two different words, reli and gear. Reli means to tide and gear means together. To tide together on the basis of similar values, similar attitudes, similar behavior, etc. Hence, we can say that religion is an institution which tied the people on a particular area. When we talk about religion, we said that religion and magic are the two aspects of society. On one side, religion, and on the other side is magic. Both are the ways we developed in Indian society to fulfill our minimum needs, minimum requirement. Hence, sometimes we use religion and sometimes we use magic. The third important institution is E. E means economy. For survival, economy is essential. Hence, we said that economy means economic organization, economic institution. The economy of a culture represents the way that resources are used to meet human needs and wants. An economy is necessary because it allows people to make a living and determines how to acquire and distribute goods and services. In Indian economy provides a great number of goods and services demanded by society. It produces and distributes food supplies. It manufactures and sells industrial and consumer goods. It conducts trade with industries around the globe. Here, when we discuss economy, economy is most important part of every society. because a man has three basic needs: food, cloth and shelter, and a man want to fulfill all these basic or minimum needs with the help of economy. And when we talk about economy, there is a system of evolution. Here we want to discuss the first stage of economy was hunting and food collecting. This was the first stage, and in India nowadays some tribal societies also living in this stage of economy known as hunting and food collecting stage. After that, second stage was pastoral stage. Pastoral stage in India, some tribal societies are also living in this economic system, that is pastoral, and the third is agriculture, and the fourth is technology or industrial stage. These four are the important distribution of economic institution where a man works to earn something for his or her livelihood. Hence, economy plays an important role in the development of any society. Next E is education. Education is the institution that passes on essential culture knowledge to members of a society. Rightly, Durkheim said, education is necessary to pass information and knowledge of the culture from one generation to the next. Indian education instills knowledge about the world. It provides skill to become competent in the adult world of work. It teaches the values of the American way of life. It offers opportunity for intellectual, social and emotional growth. When we talk about education, in India, education is in the two forms. One is informal education and second is formal education. Informal education impart education through socialization, because at a time of birth of a child, neither he is social, antisocial or asocial. Simply at the time of socialization he is a biological human being, because he performs certain biological activities like discharging urine, toilet, movement of hands, eyes, head, etc. But society learns, society provides basic environment for a child to learn something about the moral values, about the culture, about the way of life of the society, and then only he will be a member of society and a member of active society known as socialization. This is the best example of informal education. Similarly, informal education was given in Varnashram system of Indian society, where on the basis of Varna, that is Brahmin, Kshatriyas, Vaishya and Sudras, but all first three are able to learn something from ashram system on the basis of their Varnas. This is informal education. Similarly, nowadays family gives some informal education, education about the customs, traditions, mores, values, patterns, way of life, etc. This is informal education. Similarly, in India, before independence, Lord Macaulay established a new educational system in India known as New Education Policy. This education policy is known as the formal educational policy, and again we developed a new education policy in 1986, provides education to the Indians through school and colleges or universities known as formal education. But in tribal societies, education is still in the way of informal, where an elderly person gives education to the younger generation about the culture, about the way of life of the tribal society. Now next institution is F. F represents family. Family is the first and most basic social unit of society. Family is necessary to care for the young, to provide a kinship system for social organization. As such, it cares for the young physically, emotionally, socially and intellectually. It provides the basic living arrangement. It structures the kinship system. It furnishes companionship and emotional and social support for its member. Family. When we talk about family, family is the basic unit of society because family provides security. Family provides all requirement of a newly born child from birth to death. We can say that family is the primary unit of society or primary school of a child, where he learns about the customs and traditions of particular family. When we classified Indian family, we can say that family is of three types. One is nuclear family, second is joint family, and third is extended family. Nuclear family is just the parents and the children live together is known as nuclear family. But in Indian society, joint family, where three or more than three generations live together under a common roof and share a common kitchen, and the eldest one is the head of the family, is known as joint family. And the third type of family is extended family. Other relatives such as grandparents, uncles and aunts are also included in extended family. When we classified the families on the basis of the number of the members, we can say that nuclear family is the smallest unit of family, where husband, wife and their unmarried children live together, is known as nuclear family. As in urban centers, nuclear family is predominant family in India, but jointness is our culture, because in rural area joint family is still prevailing. And when we talk about joint family, we said that I.P. Desai, a well-known sociologist, wrote a book, Family in Mahua Village. In that book, he defined joint family. And when he defined joint family, he said that when three or more than three, either vertical or horizontal generations live together, and not only live together under a common roof, they share a common girth or common kitchen, and the eldest one is the head of the family. They participating in common worshipping is known as joint family. When we talk about joint family is the best example of socialism, where all persons live and they fulfill their all requirements under the same roof, is the best example and the predominant part of Indian society. But the third type is extended family. In extended family, sometimes the number of members in a particular family is more than 300, just like a Kabila. Nomadic tribes usually live in this type of family known as extended family. Next, the sixth institution is M, and M is for marriage. Marriage is a union between a man and woman such that the children born to the women are recognized as legitimate offspring of both partner. Royal Anthropological Institution, 1951. A relationship between one or more men, male or female, and one or more women, female or male, who are recognized by society as having a continuing claim to the right of sexual access to one another. When we define marriage, marriage is important part of society, and as Bogarde said that marriage is an institution to admitting family life. If we want to enter into family life, we have to marry. Marriage means when two or more than two, male or female, come together and establish their sex relations for sexual pleasure or sexual satisfaction, which is recognized by society or recognized by law, is known as marriage. And if society does not recognize or law does not recognize, the relations are known as illegal. But when recognized by society or recognized by law, is known as marriage. Marriage is of two types. One is monogamy, second is polygamy. When we use word monogamy, monogamy is one of the best type of marriage prevailing in civilized and ideal society like India. Every Indian desire to live in a family known as monogamous family, and the base of monogamous family is monogamy, where a male marries with a female is known as monogamy, is prevailing in Indian society, and we generally wanted to this type of marriage in India. But the second type is polygamy, when two or more than two, male or female, marry with each other. The number of male and female is more than two, is known as polygamy. Sometimes we use, in place of polygamy, we use bigamy, where a male marry with more than one woman or a woman marry with more than one man, is known as bigamy or polygamy. Further, we classified polygamy is of two types. One is polyandry and second is polygyny. Polyandry is a type of marriage prevailing in certain primitive societies or in tribal societies like Toda, Kota, Bota, etc. of Nilgiris hill in southern part of India, where the eldest one in the family marries with a woman, and after marriage simultaneously all the brothers are the husband of that single woman, is known as polyandry type of marriage. Further, we divide polyandry into two types. One is adelphic polyandry and second is non-adelphic polyandry. After polyandry, the second type is polygyny. Polygyny is a type of marriage in which a man marry with more than one woman, is known as polygyny, prevailing in tribal society like Nayar, Khasi, etc. and also in civilized society of India. Now we want to discuss the role of all these institutions in the development of agriculture. In Indian society, agriculture's rapid strides from food shortage and import to self-sufficiency and export, from subsistence farming to intensive and technology-led cultivation. Today, India is the front-ranking producer of many crops in the world, ushered in through the green, white, blue and yellow revolution. These institutions helps in the development of agriculture in India, and with the help of all these institutions, we developed a lot in the field of agriculture, particularly in India. The policy has indicated a nine-fold package of policy initiatives to achieve the objectives: development of sustainable agriculture, food and nutritional security, generation and transfer of technology, improvement of input efficiency, provision of incentives for agriculture, promotion of investment in agriculture, strengthening of institutional infrastructure, better risk management, introduction of management reforms. In Indian government implemented certain programs for the betterment of agriculture. Hence, impact of all these agricultural programs like community development programs or IRDP, direct impact and development of agriculture or cultivation in rural area. And the last part of the lecture is the target in the field of agriculture. The first target is food grain production will be doubled in 10 years so as to make India hunger free. Second target is special emphasis will be on horticulture production in order to achieve a quantum increase. And third target is allied sector like livestock, dairy, poultry, fisheries will be promoted. And the last but not least, production of oil seeds and pulses will be raised substantially. The impact of all these developmental programs for agriculture no doubt increased the production of agriculture in India, but the target is somehow differ with the production. We want to produce more and more pulses, grains, so that we can remove hunger from the society, particularly Indian society. Today's discussion is based on rural social institutions and the impact of all these institutions in the field of agriculture. As we have pointed out in the lecture that some social institutions are directly or indirectly plays an important role for the development of agriculture in India. Hence, we can say that after independence, these social institutions no doubtly influenced agriculture and the development in the field of cultivation. Hence, production is more and more increasing in India, all due to the impact of social institutions.